Hi everybody, welcome back to Small Caliber Arms Review. I'm Richard, and today we're going to be taking a look at another one of Granddad's old guns. This is the Mossberg Model 40. Now it was only made from 1933 to 1935, so it's really old. There's no serial number on these. It was before, the Firearms Act of '67, so they weren't required to put firearms or serial numbers on firearms. It is a 24-inch barreled bolt action 22 magazine fed. I'm not sure how many rounds this one holds, but it's got a pretty long magazine in it. And it's kind of an odd magazine too, because most of the time your follower stops right at the end of the magazine tube. This one kind of hangs out there a little bit farther, and it's because of the way the magazine tube is curved inside there. You don't have to take it all the way out of the magazine tube to load it. You just have to pull the follower back far enough to clear the port there for putting the rounds in there. Brass tube, got a spring inside it and everything. A little bayonet lug locks it on the front there. It did have a hooded front sight on it. You can see the grooves along the side there where the hood would have clipped on there, and sadly that's gone. It also would have had on the back of it here a number 3 peep sight that mounted on the side of the receiver there, and that's gone too. It does have an aftermarket rear ladder sight on here, which is okay, but I hate to see old guns like this, and I've got a couple of them that were equipped with the rear peep sights like that, and they're no longer on there because they're pretty hard to find these days. And when you do find someone that has one for sale, they usually want quite a bit more for it. Now, I did pick this up used. Obviously, I'm not as old as some people think, so I was not around in 33 to 35 when these things were manufactured. It is a bolt action, wood stock and everything in it. One screw on the bottom here to take the action out of the stock, and it comes out pretty easy. Kind of a long screw. It's not a captive unit, so it will come out of the stock. And then all you got to do is just lift it up, and everything comes out there together. And all you got to do, if you want to take it apart to clean it, you don't have to take the action out of the stock to do it. But what you do have to do is open the bolt up, pull it back, pull your trigger, and you can pull the bolt right out of it. Really easy gun to maintain. And even taking the receiver off of the barrel is pretty darn easy too. There's 2 screws right here at the back. You pull those out, you can slide the receiver right off of it. You also have to take the clip off that holds the magazine tube in place. It runs through the 2 lugs, one at the front there, one at the back here, which is also your lug that holds the action into the stock. Put it back together. All you got to do is just push that right back down in there. It only goes in one way, one position, and then tighten that screw back up. You don't have to hammer down on it. It does not even have a screwdriver slot in it. Finger tight is all you need. To put the bolt back in it, you just get it lined up the right way. Pull your trigger back a little bit so it'll let it go past there, and it's in there. Safety on this gun, it will cock on opening the bolt, and you can put it on safe by grabbing the cocking knob on the back there, pull it back, and turn it to the right a little bit, and there is a notch on there it'll catch in. When you want to fire, just turn it back, and it is rim fire, so I'm going to hold it back so it doesn't slam the firing pin into the edge of the chamber where the round would be. Not a bad looking gun. It's really super simple. I kind of wish these things were still around, because I can't imagine manufacturing on these things would be very tough. Not sure what the wood is on the stock. It could be walnut. It feels pretty light, and this one has been scratched and scraped and everything for many years. Just a steel butt plate on the back of it, and I am missing one of the screws for it. But we're going to get this thing out on the range and give it a couple shots and see how it does for being close to 100 years old, 90 something years old anyways. Let's get it out there and try it. Okay, so loading up the Mossberg Model 40 is a piece of cake. It's just like any other tube-fed magazine rifle. And we've got 22 Thunderbolts out here, a little box of 50 I've had for a long time. And we're gonna load up, we'll put at least 10 rounds in it, and we'll see how it does. So I'm not sure what the capacity of this magazine tube is on here, but 10 rounds sounds like a pretty good number. and it's a piece of cake. Just drop them right in the slot and let them slide down. They can only go in one way in this rifle, so you want to make sure that you know, put them in there right. All right, there's 10 rounds. Yeah, we're just going to put 10 in it for right now. And I've got one of the Birchwood Casey Dirty Bird targets set up there on the range. I'm going to get my glasses on and my earplugs in, and we'll give it a couple shots. All right, we'll go ahead and rack one in there. And we're going to give it a try. It is open sight, so I'm not exactly sure how these are set or anything. It's a used rifle. This will be my first shots with it. It looks like elevation is pretty good, a little bit to the right. It ejects fine. One of the things I did notice about this rifle is the trigger is extremely light. It is, I think, about 11 ounces. Now, I've also noticed that sometimes it will decock when you close the hammer on it. I noticed that while I was cleaning and put a snap cap in there and checked it. But you can just pull the cocking lever back and give it another one. Looks like all three of them so far are to the right. And pretty much in a line there. All right, there's 5 shots. We're going to leave that empty round chambered in there and go up and take a look at the target. Okay, so I think that was my first shot, or maybe that one was. Either way, they're all right there in the line. There are 3 holes right there. Nothing on the outside of the targets there. So it needs to be, the sights need to be adjusted a little bit to the side. Now, these are aftermarket sights. They're not the ones that came on, at least the rear sight isn't. And I believe it was put in there by you know, a shade tree gunsmith, because there's some pretty light hammer marks on the side of it from where they tried to tap it over one way or the other. And it's not the sights that were manufactured with the gun, because they cut the groove in there, the dovetail, right on the writing where it says OF Mossberg and then Model 40 right in between there. But it seems like it's an okay shooter. We're going to take a couple more shots with it. All right, I've got 5 more rounds in it still, so we're going to go ahead and do some offhand shots and see if I can do any better, worse, whatever. Ejection on it is not, I guess, super powerful, I would say. And that one did. That gets me that sometimes it will cock on opening the bolt and sometimes it will not. And this should be the last round right here. Again, it did not cock on opening. Okay, that's it. 10 rounds in the Mossberg Model 40. Very old gun, and judging by all the wear marks on the stock and everything, I would say it's a pretty well-worn gun too. Not just on the finish and everything, but also on the bolt mechanism itself. With it, sometimes, now like right now, it is cocked, but sometimes it just won't hold in that place right there. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't, which kind of had me worried a little bit about if I had a round in there and I cocked it and the hammer let loose, would it go off? But I don't think it goes off with enough force. In an old gun like this, you definitely want to be careful with that. A lot of wear and everything on it. It's been around for a very, very long time. You can get dangerous situations with guns like this. But it's not a bad shooter. I'm only shooting at 15 yards. Of course, it would be 20 yards from back at the Hydra sled, or I'm sorry, the Caldwell Matrix. 15 yards from right here. It cleans up really easy, comes apart really easy with the one screw right there, undoing it and doing your thing to it. It's a piece of cake. This would be a good one if you wanted to try your hand at a little bit of a gun stock refinishing or something. They are inexpensive if you can find them. This one, I think I paid like $129 for it. So, but it's used, and it's well used gun too. Anyways, thanks for taking a look at another one of Granddad's old guns. If you could, reach up here and hit this button to check out some of my other videos. Hit this button down here to subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks for watching.